The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. The Tennessee Titans lost this past week to Jeremy's New York Jets. Did not have A.J. Brown, did not have Julio Jones. Obviously, those things mattered. The big thing was that they just could not convert. The offense could not move the ball down the field. They were like 6 of 13 on third downs, could not extend drives. That's not going to happen.
The offensive line's been terrible. Yeah. Straight up, the offensive line's been terrible. And that's about the meanest thing I have to say.
Mm-hmm. And this is not going to happen moving forward. I think this was a blip week.
Here's the thing: the Jets are not a good pass rush team. I mean, they've been fine. They've been better than we thought they would be.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you had nothing to scare them deep. And they can blitz the piss out of you because what are you scared of? Cameron Batson, Anthony Ferkser. To me, it's a blip. You know, I do greatly appreciate you playing your JV squad so we could get our quarterback back online. But I don't take anything from it. I still look at the Titans and go, you're winning this division and you're going to win it in a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have this division locked up by the first week in December.
They should.
Looking at the schedule, looking at the other teams in this division, they'll have this division locked up by the second week in December.
Mm-hmm. The biggest thing, the biggest knock I guess we've had for the Tennessee Titans is Derrick Henry and
the workload's
overusing him.
The workload's too much.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw a story earlier today. Do you realize that there have only been 5 running backs in NFL history who have touched the ball this much through 4 games? The only ones, there's only been 2 since the 2000s that have touched the ball as much as Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. Do you know who they were?
Oh, let me guess. Adrian Peterson?
Nope.
Sean Alexander?
No.
Who?
Curtis Martin and Priest Holmes. You know what they both had in common? They were never the same again.
Yep.
Virtually every running back that has ever gotten a workload like this has never been the same again.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pull back some of the reins on this. You have to. You don't have a choice, or you're not going to have a running back left. Mm-hmm. He will be a dead person by the end of this year.
Well, in the game against the Jets, we saw Jeremy McNichols start getting some targets in the passing game.
And most of that was because he was getting passing down work, and I think Derrick Henry might have died if they put him back on the field.
Yeah. And pretty soon you're going to get Darrington Evans back off of IR. They've already designated him for the return. However, it's still going to be 3 weeks maybe before he comes back into the fold as the passing down back. And I would love to see them give him some carries to take some of this workload off of Derrick Henry. I don't think this is it's not sustainable. I know it's not sustainable, but you have to find a better mixture. You got to get another back involved, and you have to start throwing the ball more.
I'm a big stat guy. I like goofy, stupid stats.
Yeah.
What do A.J. Dillon, Trey Sermon, Myles Gaskin, Cordero Patterson, Tyson Williams, Daniel Jones, Malcolm Brown, and Phillip Lindsay all have in common?
They all suck?
Well, that too. A.J. Dillon doesn't.
A.J. Dillon doesn't.
And Cordero Patterson doesn't.
Yeah.
They all, if you took the number of carries they have and subtracted them from Derrick Henry, you would still have a number that's more carries than any other running back in the NFL.
Wow.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them has 30 or less carries. That is how many more Derrick Henry has than any other running back in the league through 4 weeks. That means he's on pace to have 137 more carries than any running back in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Do you see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud? Joe Mixon is 2, and he's already hurt.
Yep.
Now, granted, I understand Joe Mixon's not as big, not as physical, not all the things. That's actually a negative. You do realize that, right? I keep hearing that of, Derrick Henry's so big that he could. That's actually a negative because he runs more physically than all these other running backs. Mm-hmm. And there's more weight on his knees than all these other running backs. That's a negative, not a positive. But he's very good.
Yes.
But you have got to lighten the workload.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of people trying to justify it because it's dumb.
Mm-hmm. He is the workhorse, though. And he was the only weapon that they had this past week against the New York Jets. But even when he's not the only weapon, he's still getting 35 touches a game, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. This week, he gets to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he's probably going to get another 30 touches.
He shouldn't.
Against Jacksonville.
Because you don't need him to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need it, but you're still going to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Mike Vrabel's fault? Whose fault? Who do you blame for this?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, and it could be circumstance that you just don't have anything else. Mm-hmm. There's just nothing else you can do. But you've got to fix this.
Yeah. They're expecting A.J. Brown to be back this week. I have not heard an update on Julio Jones. Is he expected to play this week as well? I'm
assuming they're both going to play. I've heard very likely on A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard much on Julio, but I'm going to assume he goes.
I would say so. But they don't really need their full complement of weapons to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. You do have to figure out something on the secondary level of your defense. It's not good.
Another fun stat with Derrick Henry. He has 7 less carries than Darren McFadden had in his entire career.
This year?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
In his career, he has 7 less carries. He has 4 more than Emerson Boozer. He has 9 more than Reggie Bush. And he has 14 more than Ronnie Brown. Had in their entire careers. Mm-hmm. That's just carries. Just carries. Unbelievable. He has more carries than Christian Okoye had in his entire career.
Right.
I'm going to keep banging this drum until he gets hurt. And I go, no, I tried my damnedest to tell you because I like Derrick Henry. I don't like him as much as everybody else does, but I like him, and I think he's a hell of a guy.
Right.
We're not far from there, so we know a good bit about Nashville. And I got a friend that works in the front office that'll tell you, bang up dude.
Yeah.
Please don't run him into the ground. Please, I really don't want to see his leg fall off his body. Now, defensively, yeah, you got some problems.
Yeah. You can't get after the quarterback. Your secondary is awful. I mean, they're young, but they're awful.
There were
Caleb Farley and Christian Fulton.
Caleb Farley hadn't played a down yet.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But these are young guys that we believe can develop into a decent NFL secondary. You just don't have anything right now. Oh, he's getting ready to say something mean. I can see it in his eyes.
Hey, you remember that Bud Dupree thing we talked about?
Uh-huh.
How's that working out?
Yeah.
Working out good for you? And I was such an idiot that I didn't know what I was talking about with Bud Dupree. Oh, he hasn't played. Kind of my point.
Tennessee Titans should pound the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. And then after that, you got the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs back-to-back. You got to go to the Colts, which is going to be tough, to the Rams, Saints. That's a rough little stretch.
Mm-hmm. And I still don't care.
I still believe that the Tennessee Titans are no doubt a top half of the league. I've still got them in my top 12. I think they're on the outside.
Yeah, because you left out the important part. You said all the bad shit.
Yeah.
You left out from November 14th on, they go Saints, Texans at the Patriots, Jaguars at the Steelers, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans. Mm-hmm. There might not be a loss in that.
Yep. 49ers will be tough.
I don't know. There's an entire possibility that by then they've said, fuck it, we're playing Trey Lance, and they missed the playoffs. Okay. I mean, think about how many years in the last 5 the 49ers have been a dumpster fire by the end of the year.
Right.
I mean, take away the Super Bowl year, obviously, but how many years do you look at them by the end of the year and go, what the hell's a C.J. Beathard or a Nick Mullins? Nick Mullins. Well, sounds like somebody that'll be grinding fresh pepper on your salad at a fucking Italian restaurant. I'm Nick Mullins. I'll be your waiter.
Nice.
Yeah, you're winning this division by a whole mess of games.
Yep. And we'll have your recap of this week's beatdown of the Jacksonville Jaguars next week right here in the Sportsocracy. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all of our team-by-team content throughout the 2021 NFL season. And, of course, join us at 10 a.m. every weekday morning right here in the Wicked Weed studio.
Just remember, Vrabel, it doesn't matter to me whether you win this game. I already know you're going to win. It's whether you cover the spread.
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. We'll see you next time.
We'll be right back.